Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video, you have no idea. It is now the start of September, school is back in session, and more importantly, I can start thinking of the season as being officially fall. And today we're going to be doing all sorts of fall things to set the mood and reset for the new season. Let's go ahead and talk about the itinerary for today's video. First of all, we are going to be getting out all of my fall decor. Actually, last weekend I picked up all of the fall decorations I had in storage at my parents' house, so we can finally now unbox it and go through all of it. I also really want to start a couple fall crafts. I'm thinking I might want to make a candle. I have a couple vessels that I saved from last autumn season of these pumpkin-shaped candles that were from Target that I'd love to refill with new wax and new scents. I might start sewing this fall plaid skirt project so that I can have it done and ready to wear come like deeper into the fall season. And lastly, obviously, for this being my booktube channel, I'd love to start a new autumnal read. I'm not sure at this point which book I'm going to choose. I'm in the middle of quite a few books right now, so I think that's probably going to be one of the last things we do in this video. But yeah, those are my plans. I'm so glad you guys are here to join me for today's video. So I guess grab a cozy fall beverage, and let's go ahead and get started on all of our projects. This handsome guy. George! Hello, handsome. Okay, in classic fashion, it's been a couple days. I've just had a lot to do. I haven't been able to really fully immerse myself in the fall reset, even though I have definitely been getting into the fall spirit in other ways. But I did want to talk to you guys about some of the plans I have for this fall season. And what I wanted to talk about right now is my plans for some of like the sewing that I want to do. I don't really talk about sewing that much on this channel. I think I've shown it a couple times in different resets, different like book cosplays and stuff I've been working on. But I thought this would be a good tie-in for the overall fall vibes. So I really wanted to get more like warm toned plaid skirts. I actually bought like fabric for this maybe like around a year ago, but the season kind of came and went. I had other projects I was focusing on, so I didn't finish this in time to wear it for the fall time. However, I have now thrifted this fall skirt, which is this like dark brown plaid kind of like circle skirt. I think this is from Shein. I don't know if it has a tag in it actually. Or sorry, it's actually from Romwe. I got this secondhand though for like $1 at this big flea market. And this is definitely closer to what I had in mind when I originally was like planning out this project. But the fabric that I did end up buying is this plaid from Joann's. I think I have maybe like 2 or 3 yards of this. And I think what I'm going to do is this is much shorter of a skirt. It only goes to like my knees. And I think I would like to make another plaid skirt that maybe goes to like mid-calf. I think I'm going to do it so that the plaid is pretty much like straight up and down, versus this one which kind of has the plaid at slightly more of a diagonal, just based on the way that it's cut. However, this one I think I'm going to do as like a rectangle skirt with just like a simple waistband. And I'm going to try and do it so that the waistband will be elasticated in the back, but then like completely flat in the front. I have other skirts that are sort of that same style, so I think I can map it out pretty easily. And then I won't have any additional closures, it'll just be elasticated, which is honestly my preferred style of skirt. And I think I also will try and add pockets into this. At least one on the side I think would be pretty easy. I definitely have a pocket pattern that I can add into this skirt. So that is my plans for sewing this. It is a little bit lighter of a plaid than what I originally had intended for like my overall like dark academia aesthetic, but I think regardless it will be pretty cute. I might do some of the initial steps in planning out this skirt today, but it definitely won't be finished by the end of this vlog. Actually, if you could hear it right now, my wife is using the sewing machine, so I'm letting her have that for the day and I'll focus on other projects instead. Okay, welcome to yet another bizarre corner of my apartment. We're on the floor in my bedroom, and behind me is the tote I got from my parents' house that has all of my fall and Halloween decorations. So I thought we could go through and take a look at some of the stuff I have to work with this year. I have some stuff on top as well. The first thing is something that if you saw in the B-roll, I went to a TJ Maxx recently looking for some fall decor because there isn't a lot of stuff I really need to add to my collection, but there are a couple things in mind that if I see them, I think I will end up buying them. This was not one of those things, but I found these really, really cute mushroom printed tea towels. I really like this style of tea towel where the design is like woven into the actual fabric as opposed to something that's printed or dyed on top. I find that those ones tend to just like wear out really easily over time, especially with something like a tea towel where it's going to get dirty. So that kind of just like prolongs the like shelf life and usage that I can get out of these type of towels. Also, these towels are huge. And these are not just like fall decor for me. I am a basic cottagecore bitch that likes mushrooms, and I use mushrooms in my year-round decor. So these are not just something I'm going to use in the fall time and then put away. Also in terms of like year-round decor, I have been looking for a while to get some type of wooden tray. And I ended up finding this one from a thrift store, and it was only like $6. It's very reflective because it has this like plastic sheet that you can like take out and clean, which is really good because that way the wood underneath won't get damaged with like a water stain if you're putting like a cup on this. It is a little bit bigger than I initially had hoped for. I was hoping for one that was maybe like 3/4 of this size, but I still think it's really cute and I'm very excited to use it. It'll also look really good for any like flat lays I decide to do with it on my Instagram. Now let's go through the stuff that's actually in this tote. The first thing I have is this jack-o'-lantern candy container. I thrifted this maybe 2 years ago, and I'm actually not going to use this at my house. I bring this to my work and put it on my desk and fill it up with candy so that when people come in, they have a like little Halloween candy. And I've also like used this in the Halloween time where I just like kind of spin it around so it's just this kind of like generic pumpkin-y shape, but you can't see the jack-o'-lantern face, so it's not immediately screaming Halloween. I have a Halloween mug that I guess we kept in here, which is from BT21, and it's this one of Koya as a little vampire. I also have a couple like not specifically Halloween things, but they kind of fit like the overall decor. First one is this anime figure of Stray Cat from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. He's really good because I have a lot of like potion bottles, kind of like dark cottagecore witchy type things, and I feel like this kind of like cat plant creature kind of really fits in with that type of decor. And the other one is this statue of Ryuk. I think this is from like a box set of the Death Note manga that my wife had. And he's been really good decor in like our mantelpiece area, as well as kind of like over top of some of our shelves. I also have another Halloween mug. It's this little cauldron. I'm pretty sure this is from Target. I don't really love that it has this like spiderweb design. I wish it was just like a solid black cauldron, but it is very cute. I have two different pillow covers. This one just says Halloween. And this one is like a just like overall pattern design of ghosts and bats. Both of these are from Shein, which I obviously don't recommend. They're not the best quality, and also they're not even are really very strongly my like current aesthetic when it comes to Halloween decor. However, I do like the fact that these are slip covers, so I feel like if you are interested in getting like seasonal pillows, definitely look to go this route as opposed to buying them from like TJ Maxx, Target, Joann's, any type of store where it's like a pillow that's like built to just be a seasonal pillow. We have this hand that my wife used for a cosplay prop, but I feel like it also fits the like weird, witchy, dark cottagecore aesthetic. And I have two different moons. I have this small one that used to light up, and also this metal moon. I actually have another one of these, and we use them as part of our table decor for our wedding, but I just kept one out because I thought, again, fit the like dark, witchy cottagecore aesthetic. This skull, this was something I bought, I think last year or the year before from Michaels, and it's actually held up decently well. I think a couple of the pearls have fallen off of it, but otherwise it's in still good condition. In terms of like our overall decor when it comes to buying stuff now, I'm usually looking for skulls and snakes. Snakes are a little less common in Halloween decor, but I do have a couple things that were from like a Joann's collection, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago now, that have a lot of snakes and skulls on them. And it used to be that we bought those two things because they have a lot of association with the characters Inosuke Shindo and Tadashi Kikuchi from Skate the Infinity, who is kind of like our ride or die endgame OTP. And those characters are very heavily associated with both skulls and snakes. However, now because of my love of the Locked Tomb, I feel like skulls have another meaning. And I definitely want to get a gold skull or a gold mini skeleton and have that kind of like represent Ianthe. So that's something that is definitely on the lookout for me to get. I'm pretty sure that Target does have them, but I'm waiting for like the Target in my area to get all of our Halloween restocked before I end up buying it online. In terms of Halloween towels, I have these two hand towels that very much fit the same aesthetic as the slip covers that I showed you. These were both hand-me-downs for my parents, which is kind of why I went for like this theme, since these were like the very first pieces of like Halloween decor I ever owned. I also have this one, which is kind of like a bathroom slash kitchen towel, which is from that Joann's collection that has a snake on it. And also from, I think, the same Joann's collection, I have this snake candle. It is unscented and we have used quite a bit of it, but I just kind of got it because overall I thought it would be a really cute like trinket jar. This snake has broken off on the top, but we've like E6000'd it back on, and it's basically good as new. And lastly from that collection, I have this gold snake that is a good piece of tabletop decor. Now we're getting into all of my like potion bottles slash like witchy stuff. I have this cauldron that is also from Joann's. It's very short, which I kind of like because it allows the like inside to be pretty easily accessible. So I usually put this on my coffee table, which you'll probably see how I style it this year as well. And then along that, I have a bunch of different potion bottles. Pretty much all of these ones are ones I got from Michaels over the years. Some of these were from like a collection that was specifically more like kind of like romantic and like aesthetic and more like pink toned, whereas a lot of these other ones are more like generic like spooky ones. But usually all of these ones I will either put on my mantelpiece or on top of our shelves. And then along with that, like last year, I think I bought this like set of little like fake like test tubes that's also from Michaels. I think they had this back again this year, except the wood is white instead of this like darker wood color. And then lastly, I do have a couple like random pumpkins. I thought I had more pumpkins than this. I have these two as well as this one. These are all from Target, like the dollar spot slash like Bullseye's Playground section. And the last thing for that section, which I honestly completely forgot I owned, is this like kind of like fully mossy mushroom. I, again, completely forgot I bought this last year, and I have so many mushrooms in terms of like random like shelving decor in my house. So I'm honestly kind of like, why do I have this one? And where am I going to put it? Because I don't really have a lot of space for anymore. Okay, the very last things I have are two pieces of linen. This one is a table runner, which you'll see when I style my coffee table. It has this like spider web design. And this one is a mantle scarf that has a like bat design on the bottom. By mantle place, I don't mean like an actual fireplace. I live in an apartment, so I don't have an actual like fireplace to decorate. Instead, I have a very like tall like TV console unit that I kind of decorate the top of as like a mantle place. And usually over top of that, I also use these, which are these little like sticky bats that you hang on the wall. However, right now, instead of doing my usual design, which I'll try and like insert a photo of what my mantle place looked like last year, I think I might do these in my book nook area, because right now in my mantelpiece I have this rainbow skeleton hanging up on the wall, and I think I might leave it up for the rest of the season just to do something different, and that way I can decorate a different section of my apartment that I don't usually do by using these guys. Okay, with that said, that's everything that's in my Halloween tote. I think I'm going to kind of like clean out my living room area, and then we can get started decorating. actually wanted to pick out the book I'm going to start today, which will be my first like more official fall read. And I thought I would look through one of the books that was on my fall TBR, which I will have linked up above. It came out, I think, a couple weeks ago now. And unfortunately, I haven't actually made a ton of progress in that TBR yet. Right now, I'm in the middle of 2 pretty long adult fantasy romances, neither of which have particularly fall vibes. So I think I want to pick a book that is specifically from that TBR as my next book. And luckily, I also was able to get an audiobook for one of those from Hoopla. And that book is His and Hers by Alice Feeney. I don't know if this is specifically fall time in any way, although the cover definitely has a little bit of a like fall winter color scheme with this like brown on black like dead trees in the background. And I've been wanting to read this book for a while. I think for most of the time, thrillers are a great book to read in the fall and winter season. Just as things get more like dead and dreary outside, definitely lends it well to a spooky book like a thriller. This book I did not get from the Barnes & Noble buy one 50% off sale. I got this from a thrift store for like $1. Okay, so I think I'm going to read this for a little bit later today. And this might be the start of another reading vlog where I'm going to be reading thrillers for a week, which probably will be the video for next week or the following week on this channel. Okay, so I have now done most of my decorating. And as you saw, I didn't do as intense as I initially thought I would. There was definitely a lot of, especially like my potion bottles, I decided not to use in my setup for this year. I just did kind of like smaller bits and bobs across the entirety of my apartment. And I don't think I'm going to decorate on top of like my like sewing table cabinet area, which is where I usually put all of those potion bottles. But I just feel like it was getting a little bit too crowded. And also my like overall setup for my mantle, I did it a lot more simplified this year. But I am pretty happy with how my decorations have turned out. And with that all being said, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoy this more like kind of like chill, general kind of like aesthetic fall content, please let me know in the comment section down below. If you guys would like to see any of my reading updates in real time, you can follow me on the Storygraph, as well as following me on my Bookstagram, which is also linked in the description. And that is going to be it for me today. I hope you all have a wonderful day and a start to your fall season, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!